Audio Jungle.
Hello and welcome to today's edition of Breaking News only at Mexico News Network. Remember, we are shooting and broadcasting from El Dorado Royal Spa Resort by Charisma, beautiful adults-only hotel located in the heart of Riviera Maya. Thank you for joining us today. We have excellent information for you. I am your host, Elisa Carballo. But before we start, let me remind you to keep informed 24/7 on our webpage, www.mexiconewsnetwork.com. And also remember to follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and Google+. You'll find us as Mexico News Network. Now let's begin with today's main headline stories. People from all over the world visit Cancun and Riviera Maya year after year. Thousands are attracted to the Mexican Caribbean, but do you actually know why? What makes these two destinations so popular? Cancun and Riviera Maya are the most important destinations of Mexico and Latin America for that matter, receiving at a yearly basis thousands of tourists from all over the world. Visitors travel for hours on end just to enjoy the beauty and charm of the Mexican Caribbean. Destinations in the Mexican Caribbean such as Cancun, Riviera Maya, Cozumel, Isla Mujeres, among many others, have greatly developed with time. Only 4 decades ago, the world had no idea whatsoever of their existence, let alone visit them. So, what is the key for their impressive growth? We can sum it up with one word: connectivity. The Cancun International Airport is one of the most important air terminals in Mexico. In fact, it is the second most important of the nation when it comes to infrastructure and the main entrance port of international flights. The Cancun International Airport has 3 terminals that receive 100 national airlines. Aeropuertos del Sureste, ASUR, which is the airport's managing company, has stated in recent reports that Cancun's air terminal mobilized 16.7 million travelers only last year, 2014. Numbers that are in constant increase as time passes and with the introduction of new flight frequencies. This is the case of the following. Italian airline Blue Panorama has announced a new flight route from Milan to Cancun. And as a special addition, the company confirmed that it will have one stop in Mérida, Yucatan, on its return flight to Europe. The airline mobilizes more than 2 million passengers from Italy, France, England, Spain, Greece, Germany, and Switzerland on a yearly basis. The new air connection from Milan will begin with 3 or 4 flights a week. Blue Panorama directors expect that by the end of 2015, this route will have 24 or more flights per year. The Milan-Cancun flight will launch on April 13th with 3 types of aircrafts: B767, 737, and the B757, all of them with the capacity for 270 passengers. The 11-hour-long flight will have an initial cost of 750 euros. The State Minister of Promotion and Tourism of Yucatan, Mr. Saúl Ancona, stated during an announcement at a local hotel in Mérida that the new route will generate a higher influx of European visitors into the Yucatan Peninsula, and not just to Cancun. In doing so, it would promote other destinations in the state of Yucatan. Furthermore, Blue Panorama has been in talks with wholesalers as well as Mexican travel agencies to better position this flight in the European market. Mr. Ancona assured that, should it be successful, it could also draw in more international air connections for the Yucatan Peninsula, especially from Germany. The petroleum sector is crucial to the Mexican economy. While its oil production has fallen in recent years, oil revenues still generate over 10% of Mexico's export earnings. High taxes on the revenues of the state oil monopoly Pemex provide about a third of the tax revenues collected by the entire Mexican government. With this in mind, the petrol industry in Mexico makes Mexico the 9th largest producer of oil in the world and the 11th largest in terms of net exports. It is the 3rd largest oil producer in the Western Hemisphere, behind the United States and Canada. Mexico has the 18th largest oil reserves in the world and 4th largest only in the Western Hemisphere, just behind Venezuela, Canada, and the United States. Under such premise, and with the changes of the Mexican oil reform has had during the past few months, it is no wonder that companies all over the world are looking into Mexico for oil and petrol business venture mergers, acquisitions, and a way of succeeding overall. Grupo Val, the company that owns the Palacio de Hierro chain of department stores and the mining company Peñoles, recently announced the creation of the very first private oil company of Mexico, Petroval. According to Spanish daily El País, Carlos Morales Gil, the former CEO of the Exploration and Production Department for Pemex, which is the Mexican state-owned oil company, will be the leading head at this new company created by the second richest man of Mexico, Alberto Balleres. This Mexican business group has 4 main divisions: commercial, industrial, financial, and farming and livestock, distributed all throughout Mexico, different countries in Latin America, and the United States. Grupo Val already has an energy division focused on the creation of self-sufficient electric systems for its mining projects and its subsidiary in Fresnillo in the Mexican state of Zacatecas. According to the oil consultant Luis Miguel Labardini, in the next year, more private Mexican oil companies will emerge to compete in the hydrocarbon industry. Some of the interested groups are Grupo Carso, Grupo Alfa, and Cemex, which may even be searching for alliances with other Mexican companies, Labardini stated on CNN Expansión. Despite volatility in oil prices, Mexican companies are still investing in this sector. Many enterprises have agreed that this is the correct time to start a project in Mexico's hydrocarbon industry. And moving on to another topic, beer. In Mexico, beer is primarily produced by 2 large conglomerates, which are Cervecería Modelo and Grupo Modelo, as well as Cervecería Cuauhtémoc Moctezuma, or FEMSA. The beer brewing division, FEMSA, was created when this entity bought Cervecería Cuauhtémoc Moctezuma, which itself was created when Cervecería Cuauhtémoc bought Cervecería Moctezuma. FEMSA's brands today include Tecate, Sol, 2X, Carta Blanca, Superior, Indio, Bohemia, and Nochebuena. On the other hand, we have Cervecería Modelo, which was founded in 1925 in Mexico City, with its first 2 brands, Modelo and Corona, exporting 8 million bottles a year to various countries. Grupo Modelo's brands include Corona, Corona Light, Negra Modelo, Modelo Especial Victoria, Estrella, León, and Montejo, and Pacífico. The distributor of Corona in the United States, Constellation Brands, has recently announced its plans to invest more than $1 billion in a Coahuila brewery with the purpose of increasing its production from 10 to 25 million hectoliters a year. This is a key move in the company's expansion plans. According to Forbes contributor Nathaniel Parrish Flannery, the U.S. market is opening to Mexican beer brands, which have experienced growth in sales between 7% and 14%. The Mexican trend in the American beer market responds to the changing dynamics of American consumers who have turned away from the leading brands Budweiser and Coors. With the alliance of Constellation and Grupo Modelo, as well as the creation of Crown Imports, the distributor will be positioned as the 3rd largest beer distributor in the United States. It currently distributes Corona, which is the top-selling import beer in the U.S., Corona Light, which takes the 8th place, and Modelo Especial, taking the 3rd place in imports. The biggest competitor of Corona in the American market is 2X, a Mexican brand now owned by Heineken, which could be ousted by Modelo Especial in 5 years' time, according to Rob Sands, the CEO of Constellation Brands. In Mexico, the beer exportation business in fact represents $1.5 billion in profits per year. The leading brands in this sector are Grupo Modelo of Anheuser-Busch and Heineken, which owns Cervezas Moctezuma and Dos Equis. Mexico's automotive industry, a rising, thriving, and succeeding one that has gained not only popularity but also a lot of potential buyers and mergers with time, especially from Asia. With this said, excellent news for Mexico's automotive industry, as South Korean car company Kia Motors will be entering the Mexican market selling cars even before a brand new Mexican plant is up and running. The plant is currently being built in the northern state of Nuevo León and is set to commence operations in the first semester of 2016. Kia Motors, an affiliate of Hyundai Motors, will be selling 3 models in Mexico starting in the month of July. The chosen models are the Compact Forte coming from South Korea, the SUV Sportage manufactured in Europe, and the SUV Sorento, which is made in the United States. The company is currently offering clients the option to pre-visualize their vehicle of preference in any favorite color or other specifications, all on the company's Mexican website. Established in 1944, Kia Motors is the oldest car manufacturer in Korea and today produces 3 million vehicles a year. With presence in 172 countries around the world, the auto giant chose Mexico due to its geographic location, competitive costs, and the free trade agreement it holds with several countries across the globe. The choice of Nuevo León as the new plant's location was based on the state's favorable condition for the car industry, such as a certified and qualified pool of labor, a large suppliers list, and distribution infrastructure, as well as well-developed logistics. This new manufacturing plant is expected to generate 10,000 jobs and eventually reach 40,000, including indirect jobs. Kia has made the plant a priority and does not have any concrete plans to invest in the establishment of any other plant for the time being. We'll be right back with more information on Mexico and the Riviera Maya after these few messages from our sponsors.